What's up, everybody? Eric here with another EWE Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about Haunted Mansion. Before we get into that, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you want me to review next. But yeah, guys, this is the new Haunted Mansion, same name as the one from 2005 or 2003. The old Eddie Murphy one that wasn't any good. Alright, so this is Haunted Mansion. It's a supernatural horror comedy film. Release date of July 28th, 2023. The director is Justin Simien. The cast includes Lakeith Stanfield, Tiffany Haddish, Owen Wilson, Danny DeVito, Rosario Dawson, Jamie Lee Curtis, and it has a runtime of 123 minutes. So it's a little bit long, but yeah, it's a little bit long. Alright, and I watched this in Dolby format, and this does not have a post-credit scene. There's something going into the credits with some ghosts, but it's not. After that stops and the actual credits start rolling, like, that's it. You can leave. So yeah, here's the plot of the film. And the first trailer that I saw, I didn't see any of the ones after that. I just saw one. They didn't really tell you much. So the main thing I could see is that there's a family that moves into a mansion. They find out it's haunted. And in order to end these hauntings, they call some people for help. They end up getting some people for help. And then they need to figure out what's going on, why are they being haunted, what's going on with this mansion. And it's basically like a mystery of what's going on there. So that's the basic plot of the film. I actually realized not all that was even in the trailer. I kind of just took some of that from the actual movie. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's the basic plot. Let's actually now move into my spoiler-free thoughts. As always, the spoiler-free review for new movies. The bad. I hated the villain, the Hatbox Ghost. I didn't think the villain worked. It's a weird one because you have like this movie and like this mansion, like the world building's cool, but when they actually introduce the villain and they're trying to give his backstory, his motivations, none of it actually worked for me. I was kind of like, oh, this movie was a lot more interesting prior to the villain even being in it. I felt like the villain just didn't help out with anything for me in particular. I was kind of annoyed with him. I was like, really, this is what you're doing? And I actually found out afterwards that the villain is voiced by Jared Leto, and I'm like, do I just have an axe to grind with Jared Leto that I just don't know about, that I don't like his performances? I don't know. For all I know, like, might be a problem with me. Alright, there is, since it's a Disney film, of course there's a child in the story. And the kid's kind of just there for either comedic relief, they're trying to show like the horror through him, of him being scared. And he's mostly just like a plot device. And I didn't really like that. I was like, oh, if you're gonna put a kid in it, at least make him be important to the story and him like actually be able to do stuff, not just use him to move things from A to B, because that's kind of like what they just used him for. And the movie is PG-13, which after watching, I'm like, I didn't even realize it was PG-13 because it's not scary for anyone older than 13, and it's also not funny enough for people over 13 years. So my thought was like, oh, this is a kids movie, but seeing this PG-13 is like, oh, it's not really a kids movie. It's like, so who was this made for? Because if it was made for adults, it's like, you guys really messed up, because even my inner child was like, this is whatever. So yeah, and the movie's too long in my opinion. The 123 minutes. After 45 minutes, I got bored. And I think a lot of it is the CGI didn't look all that great to me. It looked a bit too cartoony. I'm not sure if that was what they're going for. It just didn't work for me. The characters just started to get boring. It was cool when they first introduced people, but afterwards they're kind of like, oh, you guys aren't really doing enough. This isn't really that much fun. So that was problems there. And this movie has another like huge issue where instead of showing you what's happening, they kind of tell you a lot of times things. Like, I don't like that. I don't like the whole, oh, I'm just going to tell you what happens instead of showing you. And they do that a lot in this film. It'd be one thing if it happened like one time, but it happens multiple times in the film. So and again, for being PG-13, I'm like, I can understand if there was something you didn't want to show for like little kids, but it's like, this isn't a movie for little kids. 13-year-olds, come on, they're preteens. They can see whatever. So yeah, that was kind of weird. So yeah, that's the bad. Let's move on to the good. The world building was fun at the start. Like I said, the first 45 minutes I was in. The cast it's a great cast. I thought everyone that they casted, other than Jared Leto, I thought everyone did a great job. The kid, I mean, it's a kid actor. Like, it happens. And they used a lot of lore from the ride, and I thought like, oh, they introduced these things pretty cool. It was cool to see the guys with the guns, like from the, I'm trying to explain it. The two guys that are doing a standoff in the ride and then they shoot each other. It was cool to see them there. It was cool to see the one that killed her 4 ex-husbands. So it was like, oh, these characters, like I recognize the characters from the ride, and it was cool to see them in the movie. I can't remember from the old Eddie Murphy movie. It's been so long since I've seen that movie, and it was so bad that I kind of like repressed it from my mind. So I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I saw it. I just don't remember anything from it. So yeah, the movie has a lot of great ideas. It just, the bones were there. They just weren't executed that well. And I'm not sure if that was the fault of the actors. I really don't think it was the actors. Now, the story itself isn't bad, but it's also not good. So it's just like, okay, it's not a bad story. It's not good. So let's now move on to my score from here. So this is a weird one because I did enjoy the film, but I can also tell myself it's not good, but it's also not bad, but I didn't think it was okay. So it really lands on a 5 out of 10 mediocre. It's a movie that exists that seems like maybe it was rushed out too quickly. Like they said, oh, we need to get a Haunted Mansion movie out. Let's go out there. But they didn't really come up with a very interesting story. I don't get why it's PG-13. Maybe because it talks about death and stuff like that. I don't know. But it didn't work for me. This isn't a movie I could see myself watching again. Like I said, even though I enjoyed it, it was just like, okay. It was too... If it was like, take off 30 minutes from it, I'm like, maybe. But yeah, it is right now. So, do I recommend it for people? No, but it's not because of the quality of the film necessarily that I'm not recommending it. There's just too many other good movies out at the moment that I'm like, don't waste your time with this one. It's gonna eventually come to Disney Plus. I mean, just have a night when you're bored and watch it, I guess. But yeah, guys, I know I wish I could say it was more positive about this one, but it is what it is. Like and subscribe. But yeah, guys, that's it for the idea for this movie. So let's now talk about what I'm gonna review next. I'm gonna watch the new Teenage Mutant Turtles Mutant Mayhem movie coming out next week. I think I'm watching that on Tuesday. The plan is to try and get the review out by Wednesday, but I don't know. It might end up being Thursday. And I'm also want to get a Barbenheimer review out. I had a poll on Instagram and people seem to say yes, so I'll have that out as well. But yeah, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you know when I put out a new video. I try to have at least 2 to 3 videos out a week. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.